explosions, gunfights, action. Hey, I'm Amy and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm talking about most everyone's favorite modern action hero. And no, it's not James Bond. This was requested by my friend Al Seward from Dark Side Reviews about a month ago after my Atomic Blonde review. So this is for you, Al. Finally. I'm not going to do a super in-depth breakdown of the story because, to be completely honest, I wasn't a huge fan of the story, but I will give it some leeway because most action movies don't really have that great of a storyline. Except for Kingsman Secret Service, the action and storyline in that were really great. This is mostly just going to be a comparison between the two supposedly best action movies in a long time to Atomic Blonde, which I really enjoyed, and a lot of people have been comparing as the female John Wick. So no holds barred on spoilers, let's get to it. The first movie takes a while to get you really into the action. It tries to get you invested with the characters, with John losing his wife, and then her giving him the puppy, and I really was not into it at all. I went into this thinking it's an action movie, and I mean, I knew some of the background story, like he loses his wife, he loses his dog, and he goes on this rampage, and it's kind of the same for both 1 and 2, but this one, I wasn't feeling it. I just didn't care about the storyline with his wife. I understand how it gets him from point A to point B and why he starts killing all these people, but it really clicked for me once that Russian guy killed his dog. And I'm one of those people that likes animals more than people, so when that Russian guy killed his little dog, which was a beagle, and beagles are my favorite dogs, I was totally on board with what he did. If I had the tools and the skill set like John Wick did, I probably would have done the same thing. But in Chapter 2, they get straight to the action, and I actually really liked that because it kind of just pulls you straight into the story and there's no story fuss even. And one thing I really disliked about both of them were those stylized subtitles. Like, it just pulled me out of the story and, more importantly, the action in the movie. Like, if you're going to be speaking that much in a foreign language or not in English, just give me plain subtitles. I'm totally okay with that. And another thing I really didn't like, which it's not like a huge deal, it's just kind of a thing I have with the storytelling of the movie, which, again, not a huge fan of the storytelling, but that's just beside the point because it's an action movie and that doesn't really matter. In the first one, or Chapter 1, or whatever they call it, I didn't feel like there was an ending. It felt like there were too many endings. Like, there was a point where I was like, okay, this is where it ends, and they're gonna continue the rest of the story in Chapter 2. Since I knew there was a sequel, it kind of really didn't matter to me that it just would have ended right there. But then it kept going. And then there was another ending point, and then it kept going. And then there was another ending point, and I was like, okay, is this the ending point? And I'm pretty sure every time I thought there was an ending, I checked the time code and I was like, oh, there's still 30 minutes left in this movie. There's still 15 minutes left in this movie. Okay, this is finally the end. Whereas Chapter 2 had a very definite feeling ending, there were no points where I was like, okay, it's going to end here, and then it keeps going. And it was even the longer of the two at like 2 hours, and the first one was like 1 hour and 45 minutes. So it was just kind of a weird thing, but I liked that they made the second movie a little bit more cohesive even though it was longer. I really enjoyed the editing and cinematography throughout these movies. They were both really great, especially for action movies, like totally not Oscar worthy, but really great and out of the ballpark for an action movie. And the fight scenes were such a beautifully choreographed dance, not only on screen with the people, but with the camera as well, that I can see where a lot of people were comparing Atomic Blonde to both of these movies. I do have one minor thing on the action, at least in Chapter 2. Maybe it was because it was kind of late and I was getting tired, or I had watched both of these back to back, but the fight scene in the catacombs right after Gianna kills herself kind of felt a little slow to me. I wasn't really feeling it. I will give Chapter 2 a lot of credit for having more hand-to-hand combat scenes than the first movie did. I really enjoyed the fight scene between Keanu and Common in the train or subway. It was really different and brought back some life to the entire movie, especially after the fight scene that I wasn't a huge fan of in the catacombs. But I think that entire sequence where all the other assassins are chasing John Wick is really cool because it's mostly hand-to-hand combat except for the silencer gunfight scenes that Keanu and Kamen are like shooting each other from different levels, which is also really cool and a really well shot scene. To be honest, I liked Atomic Blonde a lot better, mostly because of the fact that it's a female lead doing 90% of the fighting against men, even men twice her size, especially in the stairwell and apartment scene where it's just one long continuous shot. Most of those men are like twice her size or more muscular than her, but she is still kicking ass and taking names, and it's so awesome. And like I said in my Atomic Blonde review, we definitely need more movies like that with a female-driven lead in an action movie. It's just, look at the state of the movie industry currently. Some of the top movies of the summer were led by a female. Not only a female actress, but also a female director, like Wonder Woman. That was probably one of my favorite movies this summer. If not for the fact that it's a great action movie, but it was also made by a woman, for women, about the most powerful woman superhero. It's just, please give us more like this, Hollywood. It's something that's desperately needed. But I do love Keanu. But I would probably watch these again if I was in need of a mindless but way better than the Fast and the Furious series action movie. And definitely will be seeing Chapter 3 when it comes out in theaters. And a big thanks to Al for getting me to finally watch these movies. You can check out his channel in the link up there or in the description down below. If you have any more suggestions for any really awesome action movies, let me know as well. But that's all I have for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you, whoever you are. Let me know who you are in the comments down below and let's be friends. If you enjoyed this, leave a like and subscribe if you're new because I talk movies, TV shows, nerdy, fun stuff, pop culture. It's a good time, so stick around and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!